Alright, so an update on the new Glock rifle. It will not be sold to civilians, at least not at this point right now. And I believe that is because of what's been going on lately. I mean, Daniel Defense they're trying to sue them. They sued Remington out of business. They broke up Bushmaster. Like, the politicians have just been attacking any company that puts an AR-15 rifle out. But they've kind of left pistols alone. So I believe that is a big influence to why Glock doesn't want to drop those on the civilian market. I do believe they're going to be forced to, but I don't think they want to. I think they want government contracts to be their bread and butter, like LE, military, stuff like that, so they can just keep it off the civilian market so they don't have to worry about a bunch of congressmen claiming that they're pumping weapons of war into the American population and killing their little kids.
No, 5.56. Allegedly.
There was a bunch of legitimacy claims on the Glock rifle. I didn't have one because I knew where it came from. Basically, Sean, he had got these from a person, which I'm not allowed to talk about, but he had got them from a person, and he was like, hey, I got these photos of a Glock rifle. Big fan of your channel. I did a video on it, but it's not my niche, so it's got like no views. It had like 1,000 views at that time. Do you want these photos so you can cover this? I was like, yes, I do. So then I kicked those photos out to a couple other creators, and we all did a synchronized drop on the new Glock rifle. Anywho, the legitimacy claims had happened, so AmmoLand had got a hold of, guess who? Glock. I don't know if it was Crump himself that did it or somebody else at AmmoLand. Anyway, they got him to comment on this rifle. They said it is for select solicitations only. Basically meaning that this is going to be a government rifle and that's it. Now, they didn't say forever or indefinitely, so it's very possible that this may ultimately come to the civilian market. And again, I do believe it will because I don't think they're going to get the contracts. Like, for example, British military, that's where they're applying for right now for contracts. LMT already won the one for the DMR to replace the C8 in the British Marines, and Knights Armament won the one to replace the service rifle in the British Marines. I think the Brits are going to recognize that, hey, you know, these companies have been manufacturing rifles a lot longer. They have a better infrastructure I never pronounced that right. Infrastructure, that's just what we're going to call it for the brevity of this video. So, they have a better infrastructure. Should we go to war and we need replacement parts and stuff like that, they're more likely to be able to bring those in a timely manner, have better quality control just because they've been doing it longer. Glock's brand new into the game. A lot of people ask, what caliber is it in? It is in 5.56. You may be asking, why would they go with 5.56? You know, that's obsolete. It's a wussy caliber. Honestly, it's a legitimate war caliber. For the simple reason is the ammunition is light, it's easier to transport, and NATO uses it. You wouldn't want to run like 6.8 or something like that, and then your country goes to war. You're the only one that runs that caliber, so now you're dependent solely on your manufacturing capabilities. If you go to the NATO caliber, there's a whole bunch of countries that run 5.56, so should you start having ammo shortages, you can draw and lean on other countries to supply you. It would be stupid, stupid, to pick any caliber other than 5.56 for your standard service rifle. You'd be cutting yourself off at the neck. You would not want to run any other caliber other than 5.56. It's got way too many advantages on the battlefield. A lot of them focus around logistics. It's a capable caliber, it's extremely light, it fits in a very small place, and there's like 100 countries that mass produce it. So that's why they went with 5.56. They may wind up having some other barrel option for like their special operator tier 1 people that get to pick their caliber that are just for very small select missions. But when you're talking about like the ground pounder, like frontline rifle, no, it has to be 5.56. It will always be 5.56 unless they come out with some new lighter caliber that somehow packs more power into it, which I just don't think that's going to happen. Not unless we come up with some sort of new propellant that can push a heavier slug. Again, as of right now, like in today's day and age, you have to go with 5.56 for a frontline rifle, otherwise you're cutting your own throat. You're just setting yourself up for failure. So yes, it is 5.56. Now, the Glock is specifically competing to replace the SA-80. It's a bullpup rifle. They've had it for years. Yeah, maybe back then, before we understood that bullpups looked ugly and they're stupid, It was a good idea to go with the SA-80, but that thing is so incredibly out of date, they need to replace it. And they're going with an AR-15 style rifle. Next big question, will it take Glock mags? Now, I understand this question is a joke, because that's the number one question when a pistol comes out. Will it take Glock mags? Because Glock was the first company that truly made a reliable magazine for pistols. Now there's a bunch of companies out there, so it doesn't really matter, but the whole rolling joke goes, will it take Glock mags? Right now, it'll definitely take Magpul mags because they are the leader in AR-15 magazines. I don't prefer them myself because I don't like the plastic magazines. I like the steel GI magazines better, but the Magpul mags are really, really good. They were the first company to bring the anti-tilt follower to the market and utilize it in their magazines, which made their magazines much more reliable than the military magazines at the time, and the military magazines we had access to because that was during the 93 band. So we only had access to pre-1993 magazines, which had non-anti-tilt followers, so a lot of times when the bolt would come forward, the shell would take a nosedive and then jam up the magazine. Well, when the 1994 ban was removed in 2004, Magpul was right there on the scene with anti-tilt follower magazines, which brought AR-15 reliability from right here to right here. But now everyone runs them, so it's pretty much a level playing field. So what I'm trying to say here with all this rambling is Glock will likely put out their own magazine. It'll probably be a P-Mag basically with a steel insert on the lip. And that'll be their claim to fame, and then it'll probably be a joke on AR-15s. Will it accept the Glock magazine? So we'll have to see. I mean, it's really interesting to see how all this is going to go down. Why a basic AR-15? One, that's because that's what that particular contract called for. Now, they do have other designs. I've covered them in my other video with a piston system, likely a folding stock, kind of like a AR-180 in a way. There are other designs out there, but that particular contract called for a basic AR-15, and honestly, if you're going to hit the market, you should have a basic AR-15. It's what people are used to, it's what's going to sell, and it will come down to just simply, I want my Glock rifle because I have a Glock pistol. I do the same thing. I love FN, so I have an FN pistol. As soon as all this stuff is over with and FN makes shotguns again, I'll also have an FN shotgun. Brand loyalty, I guess is the word for it. Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense for them to hit this in 2015. They would have taken the market by storm. They are way late to the game. But you know, that's just, I guess, what they decided to do. Who knows? Maybe in 30 years they'll come out with a hammer-fired 1911 or a revolver. The point is they are extremely late to the game, but it's better to be late than never show up at all. Because they will take a section of the AR-15 market. There is a huge Glock fan base. That fan base will most certainly buy the Glock rifle, just because they'll be like, got a Glock pistol, got my Glock rifle, Glock t-shirt, and that's the way it goes. People are just brand loyal. So, will this ultimately become to the civilian market? Yeah, because like I said, I don't think they're going to get the military contracts. I think they are going to be forced to sell to the civilians. Will it be announced at SHOT Show? Very possible. Since, the word's already out there, why not at least just talk about the products you're making? So maybe we'll get a sneak peek at the piston-operated Glock rifle, and we'll probably get a peek at this at SHOT Show. We'll have to see. They got to know by now it's no longer a secret. This hasn't been a secret for a long time, so why not just announce it at SHOT Show? I would like to see them say that, hey, at SHOT Show we're going to start selling to the civilian market, but I still think that they want to keep these out of the civilian hands just because of the politics behind it. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. That is not written in stone. That did not come down from Mount Zion into my hands, written on stone saying they will not sell to the civilian market, or the reason they don't want to is because of XYZ. This is just my guessing. If I was running Glock, what I would see. Now, myself, I would still go to the civilian market just because that's the bread and butter. I haven't checked the stats in a while, but last time I checked, each individual state was the largest armed force in the world. So, if you're not counting the states against each other, Wisconsin would be the largest armed force in the world. That's counting all the militaries and everything. Not counting Wisconsin, the next state would be Illinois. The point is, each individual out of our 50 states are the largest armed force in the world. So that is a market you don't want to just thumb your nose at. That is a huge market. There's no military market that can provide more revenue to a gun manufacturing company than just selling them on the open market to the United States of America. They buy more guns, more ammunition than any military. You can almost even divide it up state by state. I haven't checked the numbers in a long time, but last time I checked, just about every single state as itself had more arms than any military in the world. So yeah, you wanna take on that market. But anywho, so that's where we're at right now. If you'd like to help support the channel, got my Patreon right there. I also have affiliate links in the description down below. Just by clicking on those links, even if you don't purchase that particular link is for, just clicking on it and doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway, I'll kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.